Alright, in this video we're checking out the HGLRC Sector132, and this is kind of a hybrid micro. Here you can see here it's configured as a 3-inch micro, but you can also configure it as a 2.5-inch whoop style micro with these Gemfan 2540 props. I'll show you the weight everything here in a second. But let's talk about the frame itself. This is like the base, and I originally came in the whip configuration, and I flew it last on the 3-inch configuration, and it came with the Gemfan 30, I think these are 3035, 3-bladed propellers. Not the best propellers in the world. I would have probably gone with a 3016 3-bladed instead. 3mm bottom plate. It's a unibody, and it is 132 millimeters motor to motor, 77 millimeters front to back, and 107 millimeters side to side. So it is a squished X style frame, but it is a unibody. And you have a top plate here with top mounted battery style. So yeah, it's kind of trying to be like a Cinewup and also a freestyle drone, kind of all in one. Comes with a Caddx Tarsier 4K camera here, and the board is the Zeus flight controller. This is the original Zeus, not the Zeus 35. So this is, I think, 15 amps on 3S and 13 amps on 4S. It's an all-in-one board, flight controller, and 4-in-1 ESC. So this is the original one from like a couple of years ago, not the newer one. And then they have the Tarsier here above that as well. So it's all 20 by 20 here, and that fills up the whole mill stack area. And then they put the video transmitter in the back. That's their 16 millimeter nano video transmitter here in the back there. I think it goes up to 400 milliwatts, and they have a little SMA adapter, and then they have their HGLRC branded, they call it the hammer, right hand circular polarized antenna for the VTX. And this one comes with a XM Plus receiver with the little TP port here, holds the VTX antenna plus the antenna tubes. And then they also have this little extra piece down here if you want to use a crossfire, something with the longer antennas in the back, you can do that. The motors are 1106 3800 kV, so it's kind of a interesting motor size, low kV. So it's on a 3-inch setup on the 4S battery. It's pretty efficient. You'll see that at the very end of the video. Flew it on the 750 4S, get a pretty good flight time. When you convert it to the whoop style, you do lose a lot of efficiency going to the smaller prop and actually gain more weight with the ducts and everything. So I think they're kind of targeting this for maybe flying this sort of in indoor spaces. As a Cinewup indoors, kind of slower, not too fast. And then if you want to take this outside as a freestyle, then you can take you can just fly it as a 3-inch freestyle, and obviously you're going to get 4K footage either way. It's got the same camera. So let me go ahead and show you how much this weighs. Alright, so this is the 3-inch config, and it's coming in at 138.1 grams. I'm going to go ahead and just put all the ducts on here. I'm not going to swap the props out, because when you swap the props out, you're going to change the screws for longer screws. So I think it comes out to be about the same. So with the ducts on, it's coming at 156.3 grams. And then with the 754S without the ducts, it's 229.4 grams, and then ducts and battery together, and then we're coming in at 247 grams. So right here in the Cinewup configuration, just under the 250 gram limit. So overall, I gotta say that it flies okay as a 3-inch freestyle drone, although I would have gone with a different motor size and prop if you want to fly this as a 3-inch freestyle drone. But obviously they went with this motor combination because they wanted to also convert this into the whoop style, and they went with a lower kV, I think, so that they could get a little bit more efficiency on the 2.5-inch prop. So it's kind of like, whenever you get a drone that's kind of good for everything, it's kind of not really good for either one. It's just kind of in between. So if you're looking for the best 3-inch freestyle drone, this ain't it. If you're looking for the best 2.5-inch Cinewup, this ain't it. It's okay for, kind of does an okay job for both. This is kind of one of those situations where this drone is really only recommended for those folks that can only afford one drone, and you're not going to be getting any more, but you want to definitely have a 3-inch micro experience, freestyle, plus the 2.5 inch, like say, indoor cinewhoop experience. If you're in that particular situation or that particular customer, then this is probably the product to get if you know you're only going to get one drone. But if you know you want to get a 3-inch freestyle drone, there's obviously better options than this. And if you want to get a cinewhoop, there's obviously probably better options on the 2.5 inch class, even the 3-inch class, than this one here. Because it's kind of like, okay, it's good. It's kind of good enough for both if you happen to want to have an all-in-one. But like I said, if you're looking for the best of both worlds, I would recommend getting 2 different drones instead of getting one drone that does 2 things. Anyway, go ahead and I'll show you the flight footage with my narration on both, as the whoop and the 3-inch. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Alright, let's see how this does. A little bit of wind today, and it's a bit heavy for a 2.5 inch, but let's see how maneuverable this is. Not too bad. I have pretty decent control. So like going through these like really tight gaps is one way you can tell if you have decent control. Motors, I think I probably go with a 1303 or 4 motor versus the 1106, just because you have better low end torque. But it's not terrible. It really kind of depends on how the conditions are. And you can see as I got close to the tree there, even some jello showed up in the FPV feed. Might be some jello in the 4K video. You can see a little bit of wind there. Not too bad. See how good it is low to the ground. Alright. And the wind is picking up again. This is definitely not an accurate machine. You can see all that yaw washout. I'm not even doing a full flip, and you can just do standard rolls like this. Those are okay, but like doing any kind of like sophisticated maneuvers, split S's, natty flips, that kind of stuff, you ain't gonna be doing that with this thing. This is really meant for proximity flying, you know, cinewhooping. In this configuration with the ducks on. We'll see how it does. Yeah, you can see the yaw washout. We'll see how it does with the ducks off on the 3-inch prop. Obviously the yaw washout should be gone at that point. Yeah. With this kind of, you know, cinewhoops, I prefer proximity flying like this. Tarsi's FPV feed camera is just gorgeous. Yeah, especially in this kind of lighting condition, you can see just about everything. Pretty decent flight time. It's a little bit more than I was expecting. I was expecting about 3 minutes. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get quite a bit more than that. For the noise, it's about what I would expect for 2.5 inch. I think the ducks do make it a little bit louder. I mean, it's way down the park, I can still hear it pretty loud. There's definitely going to be some jello. I don't have the ND filter on this one today. I thought it was going to be more cloudy. But this one did not come with an ND filter. It's supposed to come with an ND8, I think, but or most TAR-CAs, I think they come with an ND8, but mine didn't come with one. I have my own ND8 filter, but from another camera, but I just didn't bring it today. But yeah, my review sample did not come with an ND8 filter, but that would help with some jello issues here. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some in the 4K footage. Yeah, you can definitely see, I can see jello in the FPV feed for sure here. Anyway, looks like about 5 minutes of flight time. Yeah, this is when I would normally land, so go ahead and land here. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, so took the ducks off, the prop guards off, and put on the 3-inch props. And to be honest, I wasn't too impressed with it running as a 2.5-inch whoop. I don't think that tune was really that great for that setup. They might have tuned it for the 3-inch prop. Obviously, this is like, you know, a product that's kind of it's trying to be like one thing for everything, and I don't believe in those kind of things. You're gonna have to tune it differently for a 2.5-inch prop and ducks versus a 3-inch prop. And I can already tell it's pretty heavy. So I'm just gonna show you some flippy floppies because everyone wants to see flippy floppies. It does flippy floppies. You know, whatever you want to think of that. I mean, it does a little bit of acro. It's not particularly that fast. It's kind of heavy. I don't have a ton of camera tilt on here, but it's kind of an interesting day today. It just rained last night, so the field's totally wet. And you know, as usual, the TAR-CA FPV feed is quite nice. But let's see how this does in more cinematic flying. You can see there's some prop wash there. These aren't the props that I would choose for this. These are some old gem fan props. They've been around for years. There are definitely some better choices out there now. And I'm not sure why they didn't go for the newer 3016 tri-blade instead of this one. That probably give them more efficiency, better performance than this one. But I think this is honestly, like, if you were going to get this, I wouldn't get the XM Plus receiver. I'd get the Crossfire receiver, do some long range, and you could switch the props out and maybe get some longer flight times and just get some nice smooth cinematic footage as a 3-inch. And you know, then obviously as a whoop you could, you know, get some nice indoor or close proximity footage using the TAR-CA 4K camera. Those are the use cases I'm kind of thinking of for this. And I'd probably go for some different motors too. The 1106, I think the low KB is okay. It's going to give you some longer flight times. But I would go like with a 1304 low KB or 1404 maybe low KB motor. It's going to give you better performance on this frame because it's kind of heavy. So I'm pretty much just trying to fly it as smooth as possible. This is completely default, whatever came from the factory. I haven't changed the rates or PIDs or anything. So this will give you an idea how it'll fly if you want to fly it kind of like more cinematically like this. Or chase some birds. Let's see if we can chase that bird. He's going into a tree. Oh. Anyway, getting distracted. You can see we're still at 14.8 volts and at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So decent efficiency on this prop. Not too bad. But yeah, for like acro freestyle, this is not the setup I would go for. It's a different prop. I would go for different props, different motors. I suppose this is okay if you're going for long flight times and just kind of smooth flying like this. I mean, it does appear to be fairly stable. I'll have to look at what the 4K footage looks like. But it's not, it doesn't look like it's wobbling around too much. Anyway, 6 minutes of flight time. I'm going to bring it on in here. I think we're about 3.5 volts per cell. Could probably go longer. I'm running a 754S. And if this is what you're looking for some nice 4K footage, some cinematic flying, and also maybe converting it to a whoop, then yeah, check it out. Link will be in the description.